Ready when you are, Podge. Oh, yeah, thanks.
Time lapse.
Oh. Oh, does that mean I'm going? I think we're going. We'll go.
Yep.
Good morning. Welcome to iCare, iMove. Move More Reimagined. We're nearly at the end of the course. This is week 24. We've got a week off next week, and we'll be back the following week, and that'll be your final
Why
week.
have we got a week off next week?
Why have we got a week off next week? We might be going to see Gary Barlow. We've seen him about 20 times, and take that, but we can't get enough of him, can we? We're going to Cardiff, so we're so excited. So this time next week we'll be on the way, or shopping.
We'll be catching up with
Cardiff.
Mother.
We will. So today we're going to run through some of your assessments. You will be getting assessment forms in the post. I'm just waiting for the man to send them. So it's a new way forwards for us. So once you get the assessment forms, please fill them in, and there's a couple of physical assessments on there for you to complete. Now, we used to do it on the live stream, but it's really difficult for us to see and monitor. So I've sent them to you, and I've tried to describe the movements, but what we'll do is we'll show you now, and you can practice with me. And you need to do it before you've warmed up, really, because it gives us a good indication of how you are on a normal day-to-day basis. So if you're not cold, but if you've kind of just got up or you've been sitting in your chair. So so as always, before we do that, make sure you've got space around you, you've got a drink, stop if you need to, only do what you can today, and you can always sit down and then come back in. Okay, so we're going to start with our lovely little sit to stand. Now, if you can't sit to stand, then don't do it. We used to do a bunny hop, but actually you can still practice the bunny hop, because it's always good to practice, but we don't record if you can't stand. So what it looks like is you hip walk forwards to the front third of your chair. You're going to tuck your feet back behind you, behind the knees. Now this time we're going to fold the arms. So either just hold them in front of you or cross them. Now some of you won't be able to get up this way, so it is different. So if you've done this before with us and you wanted to, then take your hands forwards.
What are you umming at? What was that?
Because I was just thinking I've changed it. I don't know that we did it this way when we first started, so maybe we should let them. So you don't
start again. Yeah. Start this again.
We'll start again. So when we first did the assessments, if you've done them with us, we just stood up and sat down. So let's just do that today. We're counting down from 30 seconds. So it's how many times can you stand up and sit down within 30 seconds. So I'm not going to time you today. I just want you to show you the correct technique. So you're going to start at the front third of the chair. You're going to stand up. Normally we'd pump heels, but we're not. You're going to sit down in the chair so that you're sitting down fully. Okay, so the weight is through your bottom, your legs.
Can you do a silent demo? Look forward. There you go.
Hold off. If you wanted to practice, you can, but not for the assessment.
They're at it. Look at them.
Good.
Popping up and down.
Now,
ooh, the AGK Nuki.
Yeah.
You know that game where you got a hammer and a little head pops up, and then they're all like popping up like little chicks in a nest over there.
Oh, I'm tired, aren't you? Have a rest.
Now this will make you breathless, and that's okay. So to understand that to rise and to sit and to rise and to sit will make you tired. That is okay.
Lovely,
and that's simply
David.
because you're recruiting more muscle fibres.
Hilda, lovely. And for some of you, it doesn't matter how many you do. If you can just do 1 or 2, sometimes it takes a while for you to stand up, and it might be that you need to use your momentum. That's fine. We just need you to count for 30 seconds, or get someone else to count for you while you're standing up and sitting down. Why do we do this, Helen? She's got a mouthful of porridge. So we do this. We do this to start, and we do it later on. And some referrals, some of you that are referred to us, come through and you can't stand up very well. And because we teach you how to do it properly, then you're able to stand up more safely and more strongly. I can't speak today, and she's laughing at me. And stronger.
Yeah, start again.
No. So anyway, you know what I mean. So it's a measure.
Lovely, Jess.
We start with the baseline and we just see your progression. Some of you might not progress, some of you might stay the same. And actually, if you have conditions going on, you might not make any improvements.
Stop talking.
I've got verbal diarrhea today.
Stop talking. The point is, this gets you on and off loos, on and off beds, on and off chairs. So the more you practice this, the more independent you are and remain. And that's the message. Got it?
Fantastic. And look, some of you
Thumbs
are still
up.
doing it.
They're still going. Colette's just knocking them out over there.
Yeah, going on and on. So let's do it again, just for fun.
Come on, join in. Come on, team.
And if you're pretty good at this, if you're pretty confident, why don't you try it with your hands crossed, arms crossed? And you don't need to be fast. It's not a rush. It's not a rush. I want you to do it safely. Jenny, lovely.
Lovely.
Well, you're all brilliant.
And it's okay to use your hands too, that's fine. So AGK, nice and tall.
Oh, I'm worn out. Are you already?
They're knocking them out the park. We haven't even done a mobility yet.
I know. Have a rest now. Stop now.
Well done, you show-offs.
Lovely. Brilliant. And that's before you're even warmed up. So fantastic. So that's one of the assessments that we will do. We will ask you to do that are on the forms that will be sent through. Okay, the other one is a 180-degree turn. So you can either have 2 chairs and be in the middle of them, or just have one. So I stand up from in front of my chair, and I'm going to count the amount of steps it takes to turn and face my chair. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to go the other way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've done 4. Okay. So why don't you try it? If you need to use a stick or a frame, then let me know. Because we'll record that.
What?
What, if they've got a walking aid?
What? 180-degree turn. However many steps, in whatever fashion, to turn 180 degrees.
It might take you 8, 10, 12. We don't want.
She's going to get cross at me in a minute. I keep telling her to shush. Excellent. Have you noticed times of your day, week, where you have done an 180-degree turn? This is a big deal, right? This is you. This is me. I go to the cupboard. I open the cupboard. Can't remember what I was in the cupboard. Then I have to do a 180-degree turn to walk away from the cupboard, and then another 180-degree turn because I've remembered why I went to the cupboard in the first place. Familiar? Anyone?
I'm normally up and down the stairs because I forget, which is good because you get your steps in.
Well done, team. They're going to get dizzy.
Have a little rest. Fabulous. Have a little sit down and a rest. So I'll talk you through the other forms. So you have 3 forms to fill in. There's double-sided, and there's a cover letter to explain. Am I allowed to tell them? She's like raising her eyes. She tells me to shush, and then she's like, meh, 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 meh.
We're not getting on today, are we?
So you have a form called the ConfBal, which is confidence in balance. Shush, I'm telling them. And it's about how confident you feel doing a variety of movements, and there's a score. So I need you to answer every single question. And if you say, well, I don't do that, I don't get in the bath, or I don't go up the stairs, I need you to imagine that you're you're in front of the stairs and there is no option, you have to go up the stairs. So you'd feel really concerned. So you need to mark that with a really concerned. Then the other one is a short fessy, and that is, Helen, brain's gone blank.
I know, honestly. I told you not to do this.
No, it's fine. How confident you are in doing different things as well. So it's a range. So you choose and just put it down. And then the last one is called a webs, and that is to look at how your mental score is. So how well you feel mentally, emotionally, and it's over the last 2-week period. And just do your best. We're not judging, we're just looking at the scores and things. So just send them back as soon as you could, please, and we'd be very grateful. Thanks. Moving swiftly on. Let's get you warmed up. So we're going to sit forwards in the chair. And we're going to lift our chest and breathe. And I know you've just had a little workout already. So let's start to lift our heels one at a time. And bring in the arms. So let's get some lovely movement through the shoulders. Drop those shoulders down. And a lovely big movement through those shoulders. Taking them back behind you and up to your ears. Fab. Excellent. Okay, feet nice and wide. Let's come into some shoulder movement. So shoulder raise and then gently drop them back down and lift. So a smooth movement up and down. Trying to get just some mobility through the shoulders, through the neck. Lovely. Keep breathing. Try not to hold your breath. And then we're going to come into a shoulder circle. So taking the shoulders forwards, up, back and down. So the hands come behind you. Really important to get some movement through your shoulders. That's it. Keep breathing. Excellent. And then we're going to come back to the heel lift. So gentle heel lift, peeling your foot up off the floor. And then I want you to add a little press down through the balls of the feet. So we're getting some movement through the toes. So we're bending through the toes. Quite often we don't do this until we're coming down the stairs in the morning. So it can feel a bit stiff and sore. So, and we're going to be lunging later, so we need to get movement through all of the joints that we'll be using. Okay, let's march again. So just a heel lift, swinging the arms, and breathe. That's it. That's it, Hilda. Lovely.
Good, great arms.
Yeah.
It's important to keep a little bit of movement in those feet. Guys, keep the feet moving.
So if you're joining us today and you haven't done the whole course, just do a few bits of whatever you're able to do. Don't feel pressured to do the larger movements. Okay, I'm going to come up to standing. If you want to stay seated, you can, but let's come up to standing if you're able to. So a big push off, pump the heels at the top, and then we're going to walk around to the back of your chair or to whatever you're going to use to support you. And into the march again. So staying with the march, but this time we're picking the feet up off the floor. If you're sitting, just stay with the march. That's it. So a lovely big shoulder movement. And think about your posture. Fabulous.
When you say think about your posture, what do you mean?
So we go on and on about posture, don't we? And some of us have stooped postures, so kyphotic, and some of us, I stick my bottom out. So I'm a natural back bender, stick my bum out. So we're thinking about, I want you to really focus. So keep still, so keep your feet nice and still. Soften through the knees. And then tuck your bottom under a little bit. So you feel that little tilt in your pelvis. So I'll exaggerate it. So my bum sticks out and then I'm tucking under a little bit. And you can't hold it too far. So it's just like a neutral position. And then if you're a forward bender or back, I want you to think about having your shoulders over your hips and your feet, your heels. Okay, which means you're in alignment, which means you're less likely to fall forwards or backwards. And then you need to breathe. So a good way to do it, to think, is lift through the belly. So lift and lengthen through the belly and shoulders, and then let's march. And if you're not used to having a great posture, you might only be able to hold this position for a couple of minutes, and then you might just need to come and have a rest because it's quite strong. We're asking your muscles to hold in a different position, and that's quite strong through your body.
Like a soldier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice and tall like a soldier.
Yeah. Okay, so let's continue with mobilising our bodies. So we're going to work through ankles. So we're going to come into heel, toe. So on the same spot, if you can, put the heel down and then the toe down. Now, that's it. If you're sitting, same. Just lift the knee a little bit. And really squeeze, I can't emphasize this enough, squeeze the toes up, and then as you push the toes down, push the front of the foot forwards a little bit. So we're getting as much movement through the ankle as we can. And then let's change sides. So heel and toe, heel and toe. That's it. That's it. Have a sit down if you need to at any point and just have a rest or come into these movements. Lovely. Okay, and then let's just a gentle march. Just to move, just to work through those ankles again. Lovely. Okay, we're going to take our feet nice and wide, keep them still, hands down by your sides, or you can hold on, and we're going to slide down, come up to centre. If you're sitting down, stay sitting. You can stay sitting, Hilda, and you can just sit at the front, hands down. Feet must be nice and wide if you're sitting, because it just stops you from being wobbly. And we're mobilising the spine, just side to side here, warming up those joints in between. Oh, you lovely vertebrae.
Look forward, not downwards, please.
Yes.
In the eyes, look a pat.
So we're going sideways, and that will restrict you a little bit. We're not going forwards. So it's kind of leaning, your hand slides down the side of your thigh and then back up. Keep breathing. And then lift that other, so no movement through the legs. Keep the feet nice and still. Body is still. Weight is central, even through both your feet. Lovely. Slide that elbow up and to the centre. Slide the other elbow up. Lovely. Good. And then let's bend the knees into a little circle. To the centre and then to the other side. So I'll show you from the side as well in a second. If you're sitting, it's a circle. I'll show you in a sec. Here, side,
so we're
forward.
We're kind of hula hooping our hips, right?
Kind of half a hula hoop, yeah. Seated, it's a big circle, but keeping your chin lifted.
And smiling, please. Shirley, you're concentrating. I need a good smile there. Well done.
Oh, lovely.
So hula hooping is a good thing, right? It helps us to loosen up our back muscles. Excellent work, Jenny.
Fabulous.
Look at their beautiful
Oh,
smiles.
they're so lovely. That's it. Fabulous. And then back into a little march, and that's your warm-up done. Fab. Okay, so we're going to just take a little step to the side. If you're sitting, tap to the side. So just take one foot out and bring it back in. Otherwise, we're stepping together. So I'll show you seated version. It's a tap and in, tap and in, tap and in. Lovely. Good, good. Tap together. Lovely. And you're getting much stronger, and you should be feeling, hopefully, more steady, more confident. And that's what we want. If we're worried or not confident about stepping or walking, we look down, don't we? We're scared and we take smaller steps, which means we're more likely to fall, or we shuffle. So, okay, can we step over the cat or your dog? So step over with one foot and then the other one. You don't want to kick it. Step and step. In seated, same principle. We're just lifting the leg up and out. So you might want to sit back in your chair if you're in the chair, because it's quite strong into the hips. So lifting up and over, as if you're stepping over with that first leg and the second leg too. Up and over, and over. Oh, it's warm in here now.
Told ya.
Lovely. Good. How does that feel? So try and lift that, even if you make it really slow. So let's slow it right down. Lift, up, over, step. Lift, up. Have a chair if you're worried. Lift, up, over, step. And this is similar to if you were stepping into your bath, isn't it? Or into the car. You've got to lift that leg up to get into the car. That's it. Good. Lovely. Just two more. Fabulous. And then just come into a heel lift. So it's not a big march, it's just a heel lift to help you to recover, release off the hips and just rest them for a second. Oh, good morning, Cliff. I didn't see you there. Lovely to see so many of you. Okay, we're not going to do too many lunges because we're going to come into that shortly. So, but we are going to practice just to warm you up. So I've got the chair in front of me. I'm going to step to the outside edge of my chair, come back to a wide base of support or a neutral, so not close together. Step and a gentle lean. Step back. Step, come back, and again you can take it really slowly with adding that your body weight through that front leg and push back. So come back to a neutral position, you're steady, and then go again when you're safe. Now if you wanted to, you could have your chair by the side of you to just support you. In seated, it's exactly the same. It's a step forwards and lean into that movement. And we're looking at working through strengthening these muscles in the legs. These are big muscles and we need to keep them strong.
Forever.
Forever and ever. And then you'll always be able to get on and off the loo. On and off your bed. In and out of your chairs. Keep breathing and then just have a rest. So just a gentle heel lift. Just gentle. Breathe. Excellent. Lovely. Just rest, Robin. That's it. So, next move is we are going to just step back. So what I want you to do is step back on the toes and then drop that heel. Push up on the toes and step back in. So there's a reason for this. Toes back, weight down, push off, step back in. In seated, you might need to sit to the diagonal. I'll show you. So slowly, it's a bend of the toes. So in seated, let's turn to the diagonal, take the foot back, weight through the ball of the foot and just try and drop that foot a little bit. So getting you used to pressing.
Can you do it in stand again?
Yeah.
Pat?
So it's a step and then drop the heel, take the weight through to the back leg.
It is good to have a chair in front of you or something that is a prop or an aid.
There's a small, very small chance the fire.
And then we're going to change legs.
Right, okay.
Can't get around.
Step back
Right.
and lean onto that whole foot. step back in. And you'll see why shortly, because we're going to go through a variety.
And do you know what? It's painful. You know, I mean, my feet ache.
Yes, they do.
So it is challenging on your feet.
And my mum had her big toe fused, so some of you might have fusions in your joints, or they just might not move. So we understand that it's painful. So it's doing what you can, but trying to keep a little bit of mobility and just have a rest. Okay. Keep marching. Keep marching. I don't want to overcook you because we've got a big piece of work to do.
Smiling.
Just a gentle heel lift.
Jeff,
Lovely.
you all right, lovely boy?
Okay, let's do some presses. So
Yep,
you've got some
good boy.
options here. You can press on the chair, or you can find a wall or a cupboard to press on. I'll show you at the chair. So we're going to step towards the chair.
Do a silent demo first.
Okay.
So Pat is doing a press up. So she's pushing her hands downwards, pushing the chest downwards towards the chair, making sure she feels safe. Elbows wide. That's it. If you don't feel safe or it doesn't feel right on the shape of chair you're using, you can always do this against the wall.
I'll show you on the wall. Can you see me here? So if I'm on the wall, my hands are wide. And you can either take both feet back, or you could actually have one forwards, one back. My hands are wider than my shoulders,
Are you there, Pudge?
and they're about shoulder height. And I'm going to let my body drop towards the wall and a big push off. So it's lower your body, push off. And not fast, don't go fast, take your time here. So that lowering adds that strength through your shoulders and the push off of your body weight. Bringing some really good movement, some strength to your shoulders. And if you want to practice this at home after the session, then find a nice safe area like a wall and just practice. And what we're trying to encourage you to keep your spine nice and neutral. Lovely. And then have a little rest. Have a rest. Because we're going to change to triceps. So stay where you are.
What's the tricep?
So your triceps are this lovely muscle at the back of your arm.
Otherwise known as?
Bingo wings, if you have them. And we don't, do we, ladies? Men don't get it, do they? They don't have bingo wings. It's so unfair. Anyway, enough of that. So we're going to take a step back from your chair. Your hands are narrow. And what happens is you're going to bend your elbows down towards the floor and they brush your waist. And then you push up. I'll show you from the side. So allow your body to come down towards the chair and a big push through the hands to push your body up. Your weight is in that front leg. So down, and that might feel a bit odd if you're not used to doing it. So lower, lower, lower.
So keep your hands close, let your elbows point backwards, lift the chest.
If you're against a wall.
That's it, nice.
Same thing. If you're doing it on a wall though, hands are a bit lower. So kind of about chest height. And again, your elbows tuck in nicely to your sides. And it's quite strong through the wrists too, which is a good thing.
Nice, Violet. Violet was like, yeah,
Good.
I'm going to move.
Have a rest then, lovely people.
Move to walls. But you can keep going if you want to. Beryl's knocking them out there this morning.
Good. So any work
Good girl.
that loads your body weight through your joints, wrists, elbows, shoulders, ankles, knees, hips and spine is really good for your bone health. It builds on the strength and the density of your bone, making them stronger and healthier. Okay, have a little rest now, because we're going to come into our lovely piece of work. So if we have a sit down, grab a drink if you need to.
What's the lovely piece of work? He said, we're going into our lovely piece of work.
Yeah, that I said about before. So we're going to go on to, as if we were going on the floor.
Right, okay.
So have a sit down because we're going to explain this to you. So normally in a live class, we would have you standing, turning, lunging, dropping your knee down, getting on the floor. We're going to do some of that with you today. So, I shouldn't say so anyway. Helen's going to demonstrate or come and do the standing version, and I'm going to do the seated version. Because if you're sitting, we can still, but we're going to use a band. So make sure you've got a band.
Just start.
Okay.
We'll work it.
Right, so I'll show you without. Have a rest in the back of your chair, and we'll demonstrate first, shall we?
First things first, bottom shuffle. So what? I don't want Pat to slide. So I need her to sit up and bottom shuffle from the back of a chair to the front third. We talk about the front third. You just got to feel that you're safe, but your back is away from the back of your chair. Feet tuck, rise to stand, little march at the top, step away from the chair and turn. Step towards the chair with one leg, grab the chair with ferocity, wiggle jiggle back leg, bend back knee, bring back knee to floor, boom. We rise in? Rise from that position. Step forward, rise up when you feel safe, march your feet, turn, reverse, feel legs, back of chair, sit. Ta-da! Right, your turn. Their turn.
Your turn. I'll do it with you.
Okay, do it with me. What?
What?
What do you want me to do?
Do you want to talk it again and I'll do it?
Yeah.
Go on.
Come on, right.
Oh, they're already
Hip
doing it.
walk to the... Oh, well, they're not. Well, they should be able to do it by now.
Yeah.
So hip walk to the front third of your chair, rise to stand, pump your heels. Take your time, but pump your heels. Excellent. Right, I'm looking at the screen. Step away from your chair and turn. See your chair, lunge towards it, give it a grab. Wiggle, jiggle, back leg backwards. Draw back knee downwards. And up. And step together. Rise up. Whoop. Pump. Turn. Feel legs, back of knees. Feel chair, back of knees, sit. And again, go. Hop, hop. So do this on your own now. It's over to you. There's some key components that you have been doing week in, week out. All of this, all parts of this. So the turning and the grabbing of the chair and lunging towards the chair. Just having a look at my Nuki team. They're looking strong. Ooh, marvellous. If you are watching and don't fancy doing this yet, you want to do it in private, let me do the sit to stands. Excellent, Cliff. Lovely. Lovely. On and off the bed. Great. Using the sticks to rise. Brilliant. You're all doing what's right for you. Excellent. It's important to do the little steps away from your chair. Little step. Lovely. You all look great. Come on, Maggie. You got this. Now there's an improvement. Well done.
Phew.
I love Brenda's hair. It's lovely and pink today.
Oh.
Beautiful. Come on, I never said. David, you're looking strong, my darling. Thumbs up. And the hip walk's hard, right? All of it's hard.
Shall we let them rest, and then those that want to can try and get a knee down? Yeah? Okay, have a rest. When you come up to sitting, just stay on your chair. And I'll demonstrate. So have a breather, have a rest. That is hard work. That's a hard piece of work. And so I'm going to show you. Don't do it yet. Don't do it. Just watch. And those of you that think they're able to can join in after I've shown you. So hip walk to the front there again. Same thing as we've just done. And I try and make sure we practice with both legs. Big step. Actually, I'll do the other leg so you can see this leg. Wiggle that leg behind. Oh no, wrong leg. Wiggle that foot behind. Drop the knee. And then what happens is we swing this knee around and out. So you're on both feet. So we're going to drop the hands, mind your face, and just take a few steps away onto your hands. And if that's enough, you can come back up. Otherwise, hands go wide, come onto the hip and just sit onto the hip with a hand on the floor.
Right, can I just have a show of hand who's going to give that a go? Yeah, 1, 2, few. Okay.
Lovely.
Right, the rest of you. Right, can you demonstrate that silently?
Yes.
Good stuff. Right, and then come back up. Do what you can. Okay, for those who aren't giving that bit a go, it was the band, yeah?
Yeah. So I'll demonstrate chair work. So if you're not going to get on the floor,
Sorry.
if you're not on the floor, we're going to wrap the band around our thighs, cross over, tighten, and then let's take the knees out. So still working through the thighs here, but sideways. A little press out, take the feet a little bit wider.
Okay, so you choose which bit you want to do, whether it's a sit to stand or stand into floor or band, you choose.
Lovely, so a few knee exercises, leg exercises in seated. And then let's come into an arm movement. So hands together, palms are facing up, elbows tuck in, hands wide, pull right back, forwards, release and drop down. Keep breathing. Try not to hold your breath. How are you doing getting on the floor? It's tough, it's hard, but if you practice, you become much more confident. And even if you just do it once or twice, if, God forbid, you ever did find yourself on the floor, you'd remember what you needed to do to get off.
And you know, the best thing you can do is pause. Pause and gather your thoughts.
So in seated still, we're going to take hold of the band, lift the foot, and imagine you're putting your pants on. So you're lifting the knee and popping that band over. And this is similar to that movement where we're getting back up off the floor and on. I'll show you the movement here. It's this movement. It's around. It's this movement. It's around to the front. Okay? Lovely. How are we doing?
I think they're all a bit tired, to be honest,
Tired?
Pat.
Have a little rest. Have a rest. Grab a drink. Can I nick some of your water? How's? Can I nick some?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Only had one sip.
So how do we feel? Are we okay? Give me a thumbs up if you feel okay. Are you worn out? So that's using the big muscles. Do you see why we work through the feet? To push up and get down, we have to be able to lunge, which includes bending the toes, putting weight through the feet. Really good, very good. If you're new to us, then don't panic, because we've been getting here. It's taken us a while to get here, so it's weeks and weeks of practice and repetition. So well done. Fabulous. Okay, so let's work on some strength and balance still, but not making you too tired. So have you got a band? So if you haven't got a band, a pair of tights, or without for now if you're new, so don't worry if you haven't got one, you can still make the movements work for you. Okay, we're going to take the band and we're going to pop it behind your back and then bring the band under your armpit. So it's about chest height, and we're going to hold the bands in at your chest. So elbows tuck back and your palms are facing in, with the bands kind of poking out the front there. That's it, David. Give us a little twizzle. Okay, forwards and forwards. That's it. So one arm, slowly bring it back. And one arm forwards, slowly bring it back. So I'll show you from the side. Forwards and back, forwards and back. So this is using resistance through the band. So if it's too easy, then just hold it a little bit further back. If it's too hard, hold it a little bit further forwards. And keep going. So forwards and in, forwards and back in. Okay, shall we do one and then the other one? So alternate. So a little bit more resistance as one hand pulls a little bit more. That might be a bit harder. And you might be getting warm. That's it. So if you haven't got a band, make a fist and clench as if you had a band. So just swapping sides.
Lovely, Hilda.
Fabulous. And keep your hand about neutral, so it's no higher than my shoulders.
What does neutral mean?
So not going up. So your shoulder feels relaxed and you're not putting too much pressure through your shoulder. Great. And have a little rest. Let go of the band. Take the band and just pop it under your thighs. So either take it out and bring it under your thighs or lift up. And again, palms are in. Bands are kind of poking over the top. Feet are slightly forwards and at least hip width. So you've got a nice steady base of support. Even though you're sitting, it's good to know that you're safe seated. So this time, test out first. We're going to just bring one hand up and lower it down slowly. This is where you might need to adjust. So you might need to hold a bit further along the band. If it's too easy, you might need to hold a bit closer to your leg. So just lifting up and in front of you. So it's not directly above your head. Forwards and upwards. That's it. And if you can't straighten your arms or get that reach, then take it even further forwards. That's it. So one arm, bring it down. One arm, lovely. So lovely shoulder work. That's it. We'll send bands out to you. I have got them all ready to go. So up and down. Keep breathing. Getting lovely oxygen to your muscles. Fab. And
Wiggle add some movement to toes if they're pushing and squeezing their hands. So.
Okay, and can you wiggle your toes? So squeeze your toes. If you're going above your heart, sometimes it makes you feel a little bit out of breath. So wiggle those toes, keep the circulation going, and then have a rest. Just roll out the shoulders. Excellent. And then let's do a lovely little leg movement. So we're going to wrap the band under the bottom of the foot, and then we're going to hold the band with both hands. Palms are down this time. So you, again, you need to be at the front third of that chair, just so that you can straighten your leg. The other foot is underneath my knee. I'll show you from the side. So I'm going to lift my knee, hands go onto my hips and they stay there. And I rest my shoulders, I straighten my leg, squeeze my toes up, lift my knee, drop my foot down and go again. So lift, straighten, lift and lower. The whole time lifting my chest, relaxing my shoulders. And my other foot is slightly further forwards. And then we're going to, this time, hold that leg forwards and then bend the knee, take it straight back into a long leg. Bend, lengthen, and then bring that foot back in.
Yeah, it's much better seeing that at the side.
Yeah. We're going to swap sides because you're nearly done. And we'll give you a nice stretch off. So, other foot, hands onto the hips, and this takes out any shoulder work, so you shouldn't feel your shoulders working at all. So straighten the leg, bend that knee up and drop it back down. Bend the knee, straighten, lift, back down. And sometimes you might want to just let rest back if it hurts in the front of your hips too much. Lift, straighten, lift. And this time we're going to stay out, bend the knee, straighten, bend. And this is really great for strengthening the back of the knee, the back of the thigh. And then drop that foot back. Phew. And then let's stretch you out. So have a little rest if you need to. Well done, team. So feet nice and wide. Let's stretch out our arms. So we're going to take one hand to the opposite shoulder. You can stay there, or you can support your arm at the back of the arm and just bring that arm a bit closer to your body or across. And we're stretching out the triceps here. Lovely. Can you pop that hand to the same shoulder? Lift the elbow, trying to get that you're aiming to get the hand towards the lower, in between the shoulder blades. And if you can only go to the back of the neck, that's fine. We work on it. Take the hand above and then lean over your head and then come out. Other side. Hand on the opposite shoulder. So just pop it on the shoulder and then support that arm. Bring it across your body. Lovely. Breathe. And then hand to the same shoulder. Wiggle the fingers towards the shoulder blade. Just support that arm as it goes up and back. Lift through the chest. And then take the hand up if you're able to and over your head. And then come out. Fabulous. Take the hands into the lower back or hold your chair. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift the chin and breathe. Here is where we think, well, we hold our breath, and we don't want you to hold your breath. And then let's stretch out these legs. So one leg comes long again. We're going to rest off the toes. You can't see. I've got something in the way. I've got to decide which way to go here. So straightening out the leg. Hinge forwards from the hips. Hand comes on the thigh. Thank you. Squeeze the toes. And you should feel that lovely stretch up the back of the legs. Keep the toes there, heel there. Relax the foot off and then squeeze the toes up towards the knee. And you should feel a lovely stretch into the calf. So we're sitting up right now. And then other side. So heel comes away, toes are facing the ceiling, hands on the thigh, gentle lean in. Great. Keep the heel there. Come up to seated. Relax the foot off and then squeeze the toes up towards the knee. Excellent. Take your feet nice and wide. Roll through your shoulders. Take a breath in and then relax. Sit back in your chairs and take a moment. So sitting safely, feet wide, into relaxation, mindfulness. Let's just take a moment to breathe. Take some really long, slow, deep breaths in through your nose and out through the mouth. And again, keep going. Keep breathing. Long, slow, restorative breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Just focus on that breath. Can you hear your breath? Can you hear it in your body? Just notice it. And then just focus on how your body feels now. Does your body feel tired? Or is it okay? Do you feel stretched and mobile? Just breathe and notice. And then feel that breath. So where does that breath land? When you breathe in, where does it reach? Does it just help the ribs to move out and in? Or can you feel that breath into the belly? And we tend not to think about our breath, but sometimes it's a really good way to relax and recover and to focus. So on the next few breaths, feel that breath and let it travel down into your belly. So the belly rises on that breath in. And on the breath out, the belly falls. Sometimes it helps to pop your hands, one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. And you can feel that breath a little bit more. Feel the belly swell and fall. And feel the belly swell outwards and to the sides. Feel the body relaxing as you breathe. Relaxing from the head down to the shoulders, the chest, the belly and the bottom, the thighs, the kneecaps, the calves and the toes. So the whole body is relaxed and your breathing is slow and regular. And you're feeling set up for the rest of the day. Feel invigorated by this breathing, by the fact that you've moved your bodies, ready for the day, ready for the week. Congratulate yourself for taking part and for working really hard. And just start to bring some movement to your toes, to your hands, your wrists, making a circle with the hands. Taking some more normal breaths, maybe taking a deep breath in and a sigh. Have a stretch if you need to. Open your eyes and give yourself a little round of applause. Well done, lovely people. Fantastic work. So So make sure you drink plenty for the rest of the day. Have a cup of tea. Make sure you do some homework. Repeat it over the week. It's so good for you. It will then be ingrained in your minds and your thinking. So well done, and we'll see you soon.